Hey guys, so I am back. I know I've been like super busy, so I wanted to definitely come on and give this video for you guys regarding travel. As you do know, this vlog is dedicated to travel, all things travel, whether I'm traveling to go eat, whether I'm giving information regarding travel, whether I'm sharing some stories about trips that I've taken and things like that. Okay, so today we're actually going to be talking about some airport stuff, right? So today I wanted to just kind of cover and touch some of the do's and don'ts for TSA. People kind of get tripped up with the rules and regulations for TSA all the time. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and just talk about that very briefly. And then I'm also going to cover TSA pre-check. What is TSA pre-check? Is it beneficial for you? What would you want to do with TSA pre-check? Like, would you need it? Do you feel like you would need it or whatever? So we're going to go over a few things like that. This will not be a long video, you guys. It will be brief. Like I stated, I just wanted to kind of go over that and cover that with you guys today. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I do have my little list here, so I went ahead and took a few notes so that I wouldn't forget anything. Okay, let's jump in. TSA do's and don'ts. So I am going to put this disclaimer out there. This is just the basics of TSA. This does not cover each individual airline. Each individual airline has its own set rules of regulations to follow. So TSA is the basic guidelines of those rules and regulations, but each airline has their own specifics that they follow. So if you are flying anytime in the future, please don't go just by TSA. Excuse me. Also look into the airline that you're flying with to see their rules and regulations and the things that their do's and don'ts specifically for them. Okay, so anyways, let's jump in. So what is TSA? Okay, TSA is the Transportation Security Administration, period, point blank. TSA is the people that you have to go through before you get on the plane. They're the ones who pat you down if you got to get patted down. They're the ones who walk you through those beautiful little metal detectors. Those are the ones who are yelling at you to take off your shoes. They're the ones that you show your boarding pass and your ID to. Okay, that's TSA. Now, they also tell you what is and is not allowed normally when flying, or what is allowed in your personal carry-on and what's allowed in your checked luggage that goes underneath the plane. Okay. Now, do you need a valid ID to go through TSA? What do you need? You do need a valid, and by valid I mean it has your information on there. It's you. That's what makes it valid. ID or driver's license, or you can use a passport, you can use a resident card. There's different ways that you can be identified when going through TSA. It doesn't necessarily have to be an actual state ID or state driver's license. Okay. Now, one thing I did realize is they also have, like, let's say you don't have any of that, right, and you're over the age of 18, and let's say you lost your driver's license the night before, you're flying out, XYZ, whatever the reason, whatever the case may be. They do have an identification process that you can go through, that you can do with them. It's like you fill out this paperwork for them to try to identify you another way before your flight. Okay. Now, question, can you fly with an expired ID or driver's license? The answer is yes. And a reason I say yes is because me and my husband on separate occasions have flown with an expired driver's license. I remember the first time I went to New York, I didn't realize my driver's license was expired. It had expired like 2 months before the trip. Didn't even pay attention, y'all. Been driving the whole time with an expired driver's license. Didn't even notice it. Nothing. So I'm about to literally get on the plane back to California, and the lady at TSA was like, your license is expired. I was like, does that mean I can't get on the plane? She was like, no, you can go ahead and get on the plane, but you might want to take care of that. I'm like, oh, okay, look at God. As long as I can get back home, I get it taken care of. Another time, we went to Florida, I believe last year. We flew to Florida, me and my husband and my daughter, and he didn't realize his license was expired until we were about to leave, and then he put in, like, expedited request to get it renewed. It wasn't back in time for the trip, so we went to Florida with him with an expired driver's license. So it was what it was. Okay, nothing we could do about that. But yes, so yes, the answer is yes, you can fly with TSA with an expired ID or driver's license. To me, as long as it's valid, I think if it's like let's say it expired like 5 or 6 years ago, I don't know. But if I think if it's like a recently expired one, like within the past couple months, I think they're a little bit more lenient because they understand, you forget. Um, does a child need an ID to fly? Actually, no, they don't. If they're under the age of 18, they do not need an ID or a driver's license to fly. However, you want to definitely check with the airline that they're flying with to make sure are there any other identification things that they're requiring for that child, especially if that child is flying by themselves and not with an accompanied adult or guardian. Okay. Um, Let me see. Like I said, I won't be before you guys long. This is just some quick tips in regards to TSA. Okay. Now, recommended arrival time. I say 2 to 3 hours before your flight leaves. Only because if you do not have TSA pre-check or clear, you're going to wait in TSA normally. I don't care what time of the day or night it is. The line for TSA normally is not very quick enough. And then you still got to go find your terminal, your gate. You might still want to grab some snacks, get some water, all those wonderful things. So you want to give yourself an ample amount of time to get to the airport and to go through the security. And it is recommended, I believe, for international flights to arrive 3 to 4 hours before, and for domestic flights about 2 to 3 hours. So you're giving yourself that safety of time to get what you need done. And who want to be the people who about to miss their flight? Don't nobody want to be them people. You be tired. You want to sit down for a moment, catch your breath, get your thoughts together, maybe scroll a little bit, maybe, contact your family, let them know you made it to the airport, whatever the case may be. But either way, you want to give yourself time to do all those things, okay? So when you're rushing, you really don't have time to do that. And then who likes to sweat while you're running through the airport? Nobody want to do that, okay? So, one thing I wanted to mention too, because when you're giving yourself enough of that time, anybody is subject to a pat down, okay? Please don't think you're exempt to a pat down because you're under the age of 18. That does not matter. Please don't think you're excused from a pat down because, oh, well, the guy, talking to me, he's a guy, I'm a girl. They will have someone of the same sex take you in a back room and pat you down. Don't get strip searched, okay? I recently experienced this last year when I went to Texas. The hoodie that I was wearing had, I guess like a piece, like a metal string or something in the tag. And I love traveling in hoodies, y'all. That's like my perfect airport travel gear. Like if I ain't wearing a hoodie, I just feel annoyed because I slip everything just right in that little, that little kangaroo pouch. So, yeah, it had a little metal piece, I guess. So I set the detector off. I was like, what is that? Excuse me. And they're like, oh, we gotta check you. And I'm like, okay. So they patted me down. Sorry. They patted me down in the airport. And then the same thing happened when I was leaving. I was wearing the same hoodie. It was a travel hoodie, so I only wore it to the city I was going to, and then back at the airport, on the way back. And I'm like, okay, it's this hoodie. So I won't wear that hoodie no more when I travel. It stays home unless it's a drive. If I'm not getting on the airplane, I'll wear it. But if I'm getting on the airplane, I'm not wearing that hoodie. Because it's a hindrance. It sets off the metal detector. And then I was with my friend. We went to New York last year in December. Me, him, and his sister. And his sister was 16, I think, or 15 at the time. And they patted her down. Her clothes. She wore baggy clothes. Travel clothes, comfortable clothes. They were baggy. And they patted her down, y'all. So, yeah, definitely be mindful of that. You do not want to be that person in security getting patted down. I'm telling you. But if you do, you need time to get patted down. So give yourself a couple of hours to get to the airport, okay? You just want to give yourself that time. Okay, now, and this is always, I always see these videos and it always cracks me up. I don't know if they're first time flyers. I don't know if it's just been a long time since they've flown. I know because of the pandemic, it shut a lot of us down from actually flying and traveling. You cannot wear a hat while you go through TSA, okay? So I see the women, hair all jacked up, or they got the hat wig, where it's a whole wig attached to the hat. Just put the wig on, y'all. Leave the hat. Don't do that because you have to take the hat off. And we've all seen those videos of the people going through TSA and they got the wig hat. Okay, so you want to be mindful of that. You gotta take the hat off. Okay, you have to remove your shoes, belts, jackets. Like, you can't wear no jacket, can't wear nothing too bulky, really, they will pat you down. um so yeah, you just want to be mindful of that. Now we're crossing over into TSA pre-check. TSA pre-check. I always tell people TSA pre-check is like the first class of travel. Okay, if you're a person who travels a couple times a year or even regularly, whatever, why don't you have TSA pre-check? Do you? Yeah, no, you don't know. Okay, so TSA pre-check is a program, and it is not a free program, but it's a program that pretty much gives you pre-check. Like, you're already um like pre-qualified to just go through the security at the airport. They've already checked you out. You've been cleared. You have clearance pretty much to where you're a safe traveling citizen of the United States. And because of that, you have access. Hear me now. Come on now. Access to go through a designated area quicker than wait in the line with everyone else. I have record time in pre-check. I remember one time I was in the pre-check for like 3 minutes, in and out, done. You ain't got to tell you, look, I ain't gonna give it all away yet, but they have their own separate line, so you're in a whole separate area for TSA pre-check. You do not have to remove your articles, including your shoes, y'all. You can keep your shoes on. You don't have to remove your belt. You don't have to remove your jacket. You don't have to remove, from what I've seen, your hat. If you have a laptop, cell phone, you can keep all that in your personal bags. You don't have to pull nothing out and put it in separate compartments. It all just goes through with them. You're cleared. That's excellent, y'all. And here's the benefits of it, okay? Well, those are the benefits, but let's say you're traveling with your kid. You're like, well, I got TSA pre-check, but I'm not paying for my child to have TSA. That's cool, because you can take up to 2 children with you through TSA pre-check as their guardian. As long as they're under the age, I believe it's 12 and under, they do not need their own TSA pre-check. If they're over the age of 12, they will need their own TSA pre-check, okay? But it's only $85, y'all, and it lasts for 5 years. So $85 for 5 years, that's affordable, very affordable. And like I said, especially if you're a person who travels often or takes multiple trips a year, like this year I'm getting on the plane at least, I was supposed to get on a plane 4 times, but I think now it's only going to be 3. That's okay. It's still worth it to have the TSA pre-check, to me. Okay? So if you're one of those people who think like me, oh no, it was 4 times I got on the plane because I keep forgetting I went to Hawaii this year. Anyway, it's worth it, y'all. It's worth it to get. It's worth it to invest in. Like I said, but to get it, you have to just fill out an application. And then you could do that online, and then you make an appointment to go to one of the centers to finish the clearance process. And when you go to these centers, wherever they may be in your area, you just go ahead, you get fingerprinted. They just confirm the application, like everything you put. They just go over with you and confirm and make sure your address is correct, your phone number, XYZ, your email, things like that. You pay at the actual physical appointment, so you don't pay beforehand. You pay at the physical appointment, and then that's it. They submit it, and you wait to hear back from them, and you get your number. It's called a known traveler's number. Once you get that number, save it to your notes in your phone. Write it down somewhere where you know where it's at. But I would save it on your phone or a device that you keep with you often. And let's say you book a flight and you forget to add that. You can always go back and add your TSA pre-check number, your TSA number, so that you can get, that access. And it comes up right on your boarding pass. So it's no difficulties of getting, taking time getting pulled up in the system. It's already printed on your boarding pass when you're going through TSA and everything like that. So you're cleared and you're good to go. As long as they see that little green check on that boarding pass, you are good, okay? So these are just some tips, you guys, just in regards to TSA, some travel do's and don'ts, and some information on TSA pre-check, okay? So in my next video, I don't know what I want my next video to be on yet, but I know I still want to cover products and things that I take, like my must-haves for travel, and I want to also go over carry-on versus check bag. Okay, so I am gonna still do those 2 videos probably this month. Those are the 2 videos I'm aiming to do this month. This month I don't have any travels going on, you guys. It is August 2020. I don't have any travels, but you know, next month I am traveling. I'm so excited. I'm on a countdown. In about 1 month, yeah, today's the 9th. 1 month I will be on a trip, so I am excited. You guys have a wonderful day, and as always,